Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the ultimate Millenium Falcon. I have got to tell you, this right here is probably one of the coolest playsets I have ever owned. And yes, I called it a playset. It looks like a vehicle, it is a vehicle, but this thing is so massive and so intricate, it also doubles as a playset for your figures. And I'll show you exactly what I mean as we examine this beautiful piece. Now this thing is it's easily my favorite collection piece right now. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, a huge Star Wars collector. I do have a large collection of Star Wars toys, and I think this might be the coolest thing I have ever bought for my Star Wars collection. So let's go ahead and take a look here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and why this thing is so cool. Now first of all, it's massive. Seriously, look at the size of this thing. This thing is over 2.5 feet long. That is the biggest and closest representation of the Millenium Falcon that Hasbro or Kenner have ever released. It's not quite to scale with the figures, but this is probably as close as we're ever gonna get. It's large. It is a little bit pricey because of how big it is, but it's totally worth it. Trust me, it is totally worth it. Just take a look first of all at the details on this thing. I mean, the sculpting job, the paint job, everything about this is absolutely beautiful. Like every little piece and detail is on this thing. I mean, you've got your satellite dish up here, which by the way does completely rotate and turn. If I can find the dial. You know, you've got the blaster on top, which by the way does fire. Remember where you got a little switch there that just moves it. Firing missiles. You can never beat firing missiles on a playset in a vehicle. That's fantastic. Now the ship actually does have these small buttons all over the top. You can see we've got 3 buttons over here. There are also a couple more buttons on the ship too. There's an on-off switch on the thing, and yes, this thing does make lights and sounds. The lights are on the back and the front, and the sounds just erupt from the ship. It's fantastic. Just take a listen to this. That's my favorite. That is absolutely my favorite sound. That is awesome. And then you got to take a look at this, the cockpit. Now this is awesome because this is also the first Millenium Falcon toy that has come out that has had a full 4-seater just like in the movie. So not only can you fit the Chewbacca and Han Solo figures in that come with the Millenium Falcon, you can also fit your Obi-Wan and Luke in the back to recreate that scene from A New Hope. Or if you get, you know, your Princess Leia, your C-3PO, 4 figures can fit in that cockpit. And the details in there are fantastic. We got little stickers and sculpting that is just brilliant. It's wonderful looking in there. Taking a look at some of the other details on the outside, check this out. This is pretty sweet. You open the hatch over here on the side, which first of all, you get an awesome noise. An escape pod. You got a nice, sweet little escape pod ship that comes right out of the side of the Falcon. 1 figure can fit inside. And of course, it slides right back in. With even more landing sound effects. And I mean, that's just fantastic. And then one last little detail we're going to look at on the outside here, of course. Pressing this button, beautiful noise, lower slowly, you got lights. I mean, it's so cool. It's so cool. I mean, I did not expect this thing to do as many cool things as it actually does. It's amazing. Now you've seen the outside, the vehicle part. Let me show you why I consider this a playset more than a vehicle. The top hatches actually remove. I always have the hard time figuring. There we go. Removes in 2 sections, completely revealing the inside of your ship here. As you can see, I've already stored several figures on the inside here, but it's fantastic because the details in here are beautiful. On the one half of the ship, you've got the opening doors where it leads back further into the Millenium Falcon, where you could store even more figures if you want to. You've got your removable hidden cargo holds there that you can hide your figures in, just like in A New Hope. You've even got the gunner station that points at where the blasters are coming off the ship. You can actually sit one of your figures down in the seat and have them controlling the blasters, just like that scene in A New Hope where they're blasting the TIE fighters. It's fantastic. And then over on the other side is actually my favorite part of the ship, because this is where several memorable scenes happen from the movie. On this side, you've got a control panel with a chair, and right over to the right of it, you have the Deseret table, or the chess set that we saw Chewbacca and R2-D2 playing in A New Hope. And then, of course, over on the other side, we have the Jedi training device, when Obi-Wan was showing Luke Skywalker about using the Force and using your mind in order to, use your lightsaber to fight. And the same dial that turns the satellite dish actually rotates the Jedi training device inside. And again, we've got more little details, like even more removable cargo hold storage bays and stuff like that. So just cool little places where you can cram some figures into if you need to, or cram some weapons, anything like that. But it's fantastic. And then, of course, the buttons over on the other side of the ship activate lights and sounds from the film from the inside of the ship. So we'll check some of those out.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
You see? You can do it. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Now why instead of Wookiee?
I suggest a new strategy, R2. Let the Wookiee win.
Now, if you want to pick this up, it's probably going to run you a little bit of cash. I'm pretty certain this thing costs well over $100. But you can find it at pretty much any store. Toys R Us carries it, Walmart carries it, any place that carries Star Wars figures, you can run out and buy this thing right now. And let me tell you, if you are a Star Wars fan or a Star Wars collector, you absolutely need to add this piece to your collection. It's something that I've wanted since the day I saw it in the store, but had no idea how fantastic it actually was until I had it in my possession. This is the coolest Star Wars item that I own in my current toy collection. So I urge all of you guys to run out, find the money, and buy this thing to add to your collection. You absolutely will not regret it. Until next time, guys, take care.
Do it, Doc!